Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Don't let someone talk you out of your type of woman. And what I mean your type, whatever type that you like. You know, I remember years ago. Oh wait, I didn't start that right. Let me tell a story. Anyway, I remember years ago, there was a young lady I was interested in, and back in the day. And this guy actually jumped on me and said, why would you be interested in her? She's fat and all of that. Well, first of all, me and her were cool. That was the main thing. Second of all, she really wasn't fat. She had big breastises and big round booty, but her stomach, you can iron your shirt on her stomach. Her stomach was totally flat. And let's just say when she was naked, she didn't have any cellulite or anything. She was just a brick house, a legitimate brick house, a figure 8. I knew some women like that. And me and her were just cool anyway. But that's what I like. But one of the things I see out here is sometimes some men be worried about what some other man likes. They want to get a woman that's pleasing to someone else. Nah, man, come on, man. Dude, it's where your dick is going. Don't worry about the other man. I remember when I was dating this young lady a few years ago, we did a car video together. The car video ain't there anymore because we ain't there anymore. And, you know, we broke up amicably. So I took the video down. But I remember, and she was a petite young lady. And this guy was coming on there, Uncle Rom, I can get you something better. So I say, hold up, man, why you worried about where my dick going? And I want to be just that raw. Me and her were good. Me and her were cool. Even to the point I said, I don't wish any ill on her if she ever watches this. And she knows who she was. And she was cool. I wanted her to be successful, but it was just, let's just say there were certain things we weren't equally yoked on. It is what it is, right? But that's what I like. But some guy, and I mean, he was being insistent. I was like, hold up, why are you worried about what I'm dealing with? First of all, don't worry about what another man get. If that's what they like, that's what they like. I remember a few weeks ago, I did that video about dealing with a bigger woman. And I got some pushback from it. Some guys were like, nah, that's what I like. Yeah, you know what? I had to respect them. I had to respect. I couldn't really say anything. They said that's what they like. Oh, okay. All right. That's one of the things going out here. As a man, you worry about the woman dealing with you. Whatever type you like. And that can come from anything. I remember, I ain't gonna call the dude's name, but he likes taller women. But he likes taller women. Because I know height's something, but see, he's tall himself. So he don't mind a woman who's 6 feet, because he's taller than that. And I ain't gonna call his name. He's probably watching. He probably hit me up privately and say, hey, Uncle Rom, you were talking about me. But that's what he like. And I ain't say, well, you should get this woman or that woman. You gotta get what you like. Whether it's a petite woman, whether it's a big breasted woman, whether it's a bottom-heavy woman, a pear-shaped woman, whether it's a woman with a perfect body, because it speaks to you and only you. You don't worry about it. You don't worry about trying to impress anybody out here, because that woman, first of all, she needs to be in cooperation with your operation, not their operation. They got something different. And you need to look at her and say, you know what, this is what I want. This is what I want. You gotta be selfish in there. There's no shame. Shoot, like I said, it's your dick. Why you don't worry about that next man? Don't worry about it. If they don't like him, that's just, hey, you know what? That's one less man that you gotta worry about be trying to hit on her when your back is turned. That's one less man that you might have a my bad situation with. And this is very important. Whatever you like. Now, if you don't like her or something, well, that's something different. Like at the same time, don't let a man try to talk you or anybody try to talk you into getting a woman you just not attracted to. I remember that when I was young. There was a young lady, and this is when I was still what? I think I was in the 7th grade, and there was a young lady moved to the neighborhood and lived close to me, and had guys in my class saying, "How come you haven't knocked on her door yet?" I wasn't feeling her. I wasn't feeling her. That wasn't my type. I knew what my type was, and it sure as hell wasn't her. You know, and I've talked several times about what my type was. It wasn't her. Look, one of the things you gotta be selfish with out here, selfish, is the type of woman that's good for you, that you find sexually attractive, that has the body you like. Whether she's slim, whether she got leggy, whether she a big old woman. Because I had said something about, remember a few weeks ago, I said something about, you know, not dealing with a woman who's like physically bigger than you. Some guys were still like, yeah, nah, that's what I like though. Yeah, that's not me. That's not me. And I'll just say, hey, do go what you like. I'm just talking about something in general, but at the end of the day, I don't care what Rom says, what anybody says, you go for what you like, what you find attractive, the type of woman you want to be with, the type of woman get your joint hard, the type of woman in cooperation with your operation. Because that's even deeper though, because when a man goes for a certain type of woman, shoot, that's part of his imprint. That could be based on the women in his family, what their body builds were like and everything. Because, I mean, that's something right there. Because the real imprint for male or female is really the opposite sex people in their families. That's the real imprint. That's where you gotta get started. So you gotta go with that. And ultimately, you gotta go with what makes you happy. Don't worry about that next man. You don't know that next man. That man could be your best buddy. That's still not you. You want to get the woman that is right for you, that you find physically attractive, that gets your joint hard, who is in cooperation with your operation, who you can have a conversation with, who you can talk to, who you get excited about on myriad levels, who you are equally yoked to. Notice I bring that back to what I talked about first this week. So you have to really think about that. You don't worry about it. Don't let somebody somebody come and say, well, I wouldn't deal with it. Okay, fine. You wouldn't deal with it. You don't have to worry about it. Get who you want. Because every man is going to find something different. That's why I always call bullshit on somebody trying to talk about some objective thing. Because I remember I told you that one story, me and this guy on this particular job, we thought this young lady was all that. But this other guy, he was like, huh, her? Ugh. And that's what he said too. He was like, ugh. And you know what? That was cool. She was good for what we liked, but not for what this one guy liked. And that's cool. He liked something totally different. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. Because that's the one area in life you need to be utterly selfish. Because it's about you. It's about making you happy, not that next man. You ain't trying to impress anybody out here, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for right now. And I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.